Hey, this is the Tilted Podcast, aka Tilted FGC. We're going to talk about a number of things, mostly fighting game stuff, but sometimes nerd stuff, geek stuff, life stuff, and anything that you want us to talk about, so long as
Anything.
it's within the realm of the law.
Yes,
uh, but,
welcome.
but yeah, welcome. I'm Zero, and
Icky.
to my left here is Icky. Yeah,
Yep.
hey guys.
What's up?
And I guess we can get to it. Right now, we don't have any music because we got to figure out how all that works in the legal sense. But we'll have it all ironed out within 5 episodes or
Yeah,
so.
we're not trying to get copyright stricken like on our first episode, so let's not do that, all
Yeah,
right? Not
we
yet,
don't
at least.
we don't have the money for lawyers.
No, I can't lawyer up. I can't even fucking go to a fucking grocery store.
Yeah, for real, same. I guess first point thing to point out is final round is happening right now, and I'm
Right
sure
now.
that you guys are watching it. I hope you guys are watching it, and if not, there's going to be restreams and reruns. It's literally not happening this minute because it's 12:25 a.m. Pacific, meaning that it's what, like 3
3
o'clock.
a.m. Yeah, 3 a.m. over there in Atlanta.
Yeah. So that'll be some cool stuff. That I guess tomorrow or like today being Sunday would be finals day. So
Yeah.
this is definitely time to check it out if you haven't checked it out already.
Yeah,
So tune in to the final round.
that'll be our little reminder for you guys to check it out if you're tuning in right now or anywhere. Go check out the final round streams or archives whenever you happen to watch this, because at the moment, unfortunately, we can't comment on what's happening because we can't see it.
Exactly.
Everyone's asleep.
And on top of that, if for whatever reason you've downloaded this or you're listening to this after it's been uploaded to Google Podcasts, final round will already have happened. There's nothing we can really do about that because we're not time wizards.
Yeah.
But the next podcast we do, we'll go over what's going on final round. And as we tighten this up, we'll be able to tell you more about tournaments past and tournaments to come.
Yes, of course. That's the goal here. So, anyways,
Yeah,
you think we should move on to our actual first subject here?
yeah.
Mortal Kombat 11. This weekend, the beta is out. All the fiends are fiending. All the fucking combatants with a K, they're combating. What do you and unfortunately, I didn't get into the beta, but my main man right here got into it. So, what do you think so far of your like one or two matches that you played? I have some thoughts, at least based on what I've been seeing. But you go.
Well, for one, there are no thoughts in the game so far. The women are pretty covered up, but the models look very good. The animation is definitely a couple notches better than it's ever been.
For
Everybody knows.
NRS.
Yeah, dude, especially for NRS. It almost looks like they got somebody else to come in and coach them.
They kicked out the person who's been doing all the animations since
Yeah.
MK9.
For real, there are plenty of videos you guys can check out on YouTube that go over why the animation in NRS games is so bad. And once you watch them, it further illuminates just the problems they have with like rigging and I don't even know.
Yes, that's definitely something. If you guys are watching this archive, we'll have to leave a link for those reference videos because it is kind of jarring when you see some of the animations in NRS games compared to, I guess, Japanese developed fighting games. It is kind of jarring, but it's always been a weird thing. Like you never really cared because the games were always good, right?
Yeah. The fun's there, but it's you want the total package. NRS is definitely a developer that tries to give that to us because we got the fleshed out story modes, we've got all kinds of customization, we have the combat collection, everything with
All the bonuses, all of them.
Yeah, King of the Hill mode, and everything we've seen in like the Injustices and all that stuff. And so, as every new game comes out, we call them out on their bullshit because everybody remembers what Supergirl's face looked like. and to their credit, they listen and they tighten those things up.
Yeah, because there was a huge difference between that first reveal Supergirl and then the actual release build. Like,
Chucky face to
the Chucky face is
girl.
gone, and same thing kind of happened with Chun-Li in Marvel Infinite. I remember the trailers; she was ugly. In the game, she looked a little good, a little better, but that's a whole different game. But yes,
A little
It's
bit.
always like that with NRS. They've actually listened and hopefully continue to listen. Don't patch the game to hell, at least yet. But other than that animation stuff that you kind of noticed, like what else did you kind of feel about playing your matches?
So the netcode, just like with, I believe it was PC MKXL, MK10 XL or whatever, the netcode felt good. It felt tight. Although part of that could be rolled into the fact that the whole game is slower paced. It feels closer to what you remember Mortal Kombat 2 to feel like. And I know Mortal Kombat 2 is, holy crap, 20 years
No, more
prior?
than that. It's got to be
More
like
than that?
22, 23.
Jeez, yeah,
Came
dude.
out
Oh,
93.
93
I
was
want to
it?
say 93.
Um, yeah, but so yeah, the pace of the game has slowed down. So you guys that are like MK9, MKX, like diehards, I'm sorry because it's kind of weird to, especially in this age of like Dragon Ball fighters, Tekken, and a lot of these kind of really fast paced games going on. Um, NRS has decided to step back. There's sadly a lot like I felt with Injustice 2. There seems to be a pretty big focus on zoning again because I think a couple of their game designers or game mechanic fight what the
Fight
hell do you call these
designers,
people? Yeah,
combat.
they're Moshiges.
Yeah.
Whoever those dudes are seem to favor that kind of, or they like that kind of gameplay. So they're definitely emphasizing that kind of shit going on, and and it's there, but that doesn't mean that you can't get in there. There's a two different kind of meters. There's a defensive meter, an offensive meter, and then when you get low in life, there's the fatal blow, which is just pressing L2 and R2. I'm not, again with, I always feel weird with the MK games because there always feels like there's too many buttons and too many
Yeah,
buttons.
a little bit. It was like that in the arcade for sure, at least in my opinion. Or
Yeah.
maybe it was the layout, because in the arcade, you have four buttons, but they always put block, like, in the fucking middle. And
Oh yeah, you're going back
I'm
to
going back
basically
way
all the
far, but
arcade.
yes, I always
Yeah.
felt like them adding the back to block in Injustice 1 was like, oh, maybe they're gonna change it up, you know?
Yeah.
Is that a feature in 11? Did you see that?
In 11, I don't see it. I was looking through the options. By the way, the options in, I'm playing it on PS4.
Okay.
The options in the PS4 version are pretty well fleshed out. They have a lot of interesting mechanics there. But yeah, just to get to the meat of that whole the block situation, I still a dedicated block button. There's I remember on the controller there is your left punch, your right punch, your left kick, your right kick, or I think it's like front and back kick and
Yeah,
front
it's
back kick.
supposed to be like limbs. It's sort of like Tekken, or it's
Yeah,
left,
kind
right.
of. So I call it left and right, but I think it's front and back. And then
Hmm.
in the nomenclature that you'd use when you're talking about the moves, they use the number pad notation. I think. No, they don't. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. The numbers are used for the buttons. So I think you have one, two, three, and four.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's 1, 2, 3, 4 is for the
yes, one, two, three,
buttons.
four. And then the all the extra buttons though. There's auxiliary buttons. You have your fatal blow, which is the super basically, and that you only get when you're at the last. I think it's like 15% of your life.
Yeah,
There's a dedicated throw button. I think there's still a stance change button, which is boggling to my
yeah.
mind.
I never understood the stance change in the NRS games. Like, I never, you know what I mean? I just like why'd you add it?
It doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't need to be there, really.
It super doesn't. And then I think another button, because I only played two matches, and I there's no, first off, I think you might have to pause it, but there's no way to look at the move list. They only give you three characters: Baraka, Scorpion, and
Scorpion.
Scarlet.
Yeah,
And
at least
if
for
you,
this initial stress test, because as of this recording, the real beta is not out yet. This is like the initial.
oh yes,
Yeah,
online beta specifically,
yeah,
all the menus are there, but content is locked off because of the online beta nature. So you can only do ranked matches, and you can customize your characters, which I can get into in a sec. But for starters, though, you don't, if unless you're playing MK a lot, which I'm not, and I don't play a lot of NRS games, I didn't remember the moves. So I do know that in the pre-release footage, they were, or not, I guess the much earlier footage, they had this mechanic, which is, I'm just going to refer to it as a lethal hit for you Soul Calibur players out there.
Yeah.
It's called a,
A
a
fatal
crushing
block.
blow with a K, crushing blow.
Oh, crushing blow.
Yeah, and I'm not going to call it that. I'm just gonna call it lethal hit because that's what it is. It's a specialized counter. It works just like the lethal hits do in Soul Calibur. And if you don't know how those work, basically there are certain attacks that if they hit as counter hit or they hit in very specific situations, as in during a combo at the end of a combo, they have an added effect. You get more hit stun or just more damage overall. Special animations. There's a lot of things there, but originally you had to do a specific input to get these lethal hits, crushing blows, whatever you want to call it. But they changed it to run more like MKX, where there was a meter burn button. I think that's also Injustice 2, right?
Yeah, they have meter burns.
Yeah, yeah. So now it's just universally meter burn. If you have, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm completely wrong. Lethal hits work under special circumstances. I meant to say special moves used to have specialized inputs for their extensions or their meter burns.
Yeah.
Now there is a dedicated button for that, which
Yeah.
that's why I was talking about it, is because of the buttons. That's my bad.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think one of the buttons is also that. So you basically have a 4-button game that becomes an 8-button game because you have a block button, a stance button, the fatal blow, and the meter burn.
Yeah, and that only is necessarily true for pad players because a lot of those things are still, I'm pretty sure, button combos for people that play NRS on stick.
I want to say that they are, but in my very brief time with the game, there wasn't anything that immediately pointed that out to me. So I'll have to drill into the menus to see if there's like something that tells you,
Yeah.
or something outside of a tutorial, which we don't have access to in the online beta.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could confirm it, but like I said earlier, guys, I didn't get in. He got in, so that's all
Sorry.
good.
The one of the two of us that plays
Yeah.
less NRS.
Yeah, right. But did you have any opinions on the new flawless, like Just Guard flawless block or anything like that? Have you tried that?
I like the idea. I think it's good. I'm always. You don't know this about us if you're just tuning in and you don't follow the Twitch channel, but both of us are longtime threes players. Threes being third strike.
Yeah.
And any kind of mechanic that you can give me that is timing based. So you're talking about just frames. We're talking about parries and just guards. I'm always about that. And so the just guard is great. I can't use it too much because I don't know how the strings work yet. But for a game that emphasizes zoning so much, if I'm not mistaken, I think that just guarding negates block damage. So, and it gives you it definitely has less block stun. So someone's trying to zone you out in this game, you can parry it basically, which is great.
Yeah, and I think that's an awesome thing. It seems like more games are doing that. Smash did that, so fuck it, dude. I've always liked it. Just Defend, whether it's in Garo or I can't think of it right now, but the other SNK game with Just Defend.
The other SNK game with Just Defend.
There's a few. There's like 3.
I mean, I know it comes up in CVS too.
Yeah, CVS has it as well.
Yeah, CVS has the K Groove. Garo has Just Defend. And something else does have Just Defend.
It does. I just can't think of it right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, at least my opinions as someone who can only watch from the outside, it does look like they're slowing down the pace. It does look a little bit more MK90. Just watching, I've watched people like Star Rich. I've watched Maximilian, a few other people, right? And all those people play a little different, and seeing how they play, it's just like it seems like certain things like walking is just the best thing to do. Like dashing's definitely nerfed.
Yeah, dashing sucks.
It seems like it seems like shit, but this
Yeah,
is probably an early build, so we don't know yet. But
yeah. Oh man, I for instance, I played a couple matches with Scarlet, and her dash may as well be a grappler's dash, and I think that everybody's dash is pretty much a grappler's dash. It's just this little,
it's just a little thing here.
yeah, and it's not
Don't really cover no space.
bad. Hmm.
Yeah,
It definitely felt wrong. I don't know how to say it because there's a kind of especially if you're not playing a grappler, right? There's a certain snappiness that you want from a dash. Run, I can understand coming from Marvel's Capcom 2 and not canceling a run or anything. You expect to have some kind of a recovery animation at the end of a run, but when MK11 or in any other game that has a dash, there's like a you dash and you're not dashing anymore. You're ready. But in this one, it feels like there's a little bit of recovery to the dash too. So it's almost like they don't want you to dash, and there's no run in the game.
interesting.
So I don't know. I don't know where, what, or how they're going with this. Maybe it's just for footsies and spacing because that's definitely a big part of this game. If you guys
Yeah,
are
that's what it
footsie
looks like.
maniacs, yeah, you're gonna want to look into MK11.
Yeah, it looks like neutral at the moment, at least in this beta build. It's like strong. You know what I mean? If
Mhm.
you if you have better footsies, your spacing's better, you're gonna end up just dominating people. I guess you could say because it's gonna lead for them to get comboed basically.
Yeah, yeah. That's really all that I got out of it. I know that there are combos in there, but you're not going to see combos the likes of MKX. I think some characters will have the ability to push their combos out, but the focus is definitely on fishing for hits and getting the damage where you can.
Yeah, and not necessarily over pressured mix ups or dash in run and the pace of MKX I like it because I like MK3 or UMK3,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
it
That's
seems
one
like
of
they're
my
going from like they did from UMK3 to back to MK2, something like that.
yeah. If I may, I'd say it feels a lot, and just suspend however you feel about these games. It's MKX would be your Street Fighter 4, and MK11 would be your Street Fighter 5. That's the feeling I get.
Okay.
They're trying to make things not so complicated for everybody. They're trying to make things accessible, and they're slowing down the pace of the match and changing the way that aggression works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not about in your face, it's about being neutral and landing the clean hit and then getting a reward from it, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I it's kind of funny because I feel like it'll bring some old heads back into the game,
Yeah.
but the people who like were brought in from MK9 and MKX and maybe even transitioned into Injustice, they're probably not gonna like the game. From what I've seen so far, there's a lot of characters, which is cool.
Yeah.
They brought back my boy Cabal,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm interested to see that there's going to be a few more new faces, and some of you guys have seen the newest story trailer that showed Cassie and Jackie, Johnny Cage, and then they're also kind of going for this old meets new because the timelines are converging. So you have young Johnny Cage hanging out with old Johnny Cage, and so that opens up a lot of possibilities. So the roster, I feel, and the variety could be very strong,
Yeah.
much better than MKX because MKX tried that with the variations,
Mm-hmm.
remember?
Yep.
And variations didn't work out as well as they thought because, as everybody assumed, one variation always ended up being strong.
It's basically Street Fighter Alpha 3 all over again, where
Oh
one
yeah,
character always had one that was always better. And
yeah.
yeah, in some matchups you could use the other one, but yeah, it just didn't work out like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, so that's about it for MKX. Let's move on to Power Rangers Battle
Oh
for the Grid.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do here for you guys on the stream, I'm gonna play this with sound off, just to give you a little visual. But yeah, I'm hyped for this. You know, we're both also Marvel fans.
Can
For
you
those of you that
break
don't
that
know,
down? Or does it work like that?
what's that?
I said, can you full screen it in the window? Or okay, yeah. That's
Yeah,
closer to that.
yeah.
Better. Cool. Yeah. Holy crap, this game. I kind of mildly joked about it on when I was lurking around R Kappa and saying that Power Rangers carries the FGC, but it's really starting to.
It's starting to look really good. I mean, that first initial, this is the one you guys are seeing here is not the first initial trailer, but that first one, everyone was saying it's a mobile game, it's
Mhm.
gonna suck, it's trash, you know, it's gonna be like, you know, pay to win, buy gems or whatever mobile games do, right? But
Yeah.
now that we've learned that Clockwork of Marvel vs. Capcom fame and another strong old school player, Shady K, are on
Hmm.
that design team, basically designing the engine, there's a lot less to be worried about because it's gonna be a solid versus game, basically. You
Yeah.
know, a little bit more of a ground based versus game,
They
like the
had
old ones.
in the building playing it too, showing him the
Oh
ropes.
yeah, they had Justin Wong in. We'll show a little bit of that footage. They've had Yipes over there
Mhm.
trying it out.
We'll add some links to the description too. So if any of you guys are kind of new to it or haven't been following it as strongly as you should, because the game looks strong, you should check it out. Because yeah, man, this is. I think I said it to you before, and naturally, seeing this is episode 0, none of y'all heard me say this before, but this is probably, with the exception of Skullgirls, the most Japanese-looking fighting game made by an American.
By an American dev team.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it basically looks like they took everything from Marvel too. You know, the assist calling comes in quick, they leave quick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at least from this early footage that they're playing, they're coming up with left-right mix-ups. They're coming up with just things that you would see in a normal Marvel game, right?
Yeah, it's it's almost like they felt a kind of way about how things were going with Marvel, and in a similar way to our Lord and Savior Mike Z implemented that in their game, because that's what happened with Skullgirls, right?
Yeah,
Skullgirls, Mike Z didn't want to play, MVC3, kind of like me in that sense, and he was a big fan of MVC2. He even has his own team. Everybody should know that, and but he wanted the game to be better. He wanted the game to be tighter. He is a very analytical, astute individual. He
yeah,
knows how to do things, how things work, why things work, and how things should work. And I think that's the same approach that Shady K and Clockwork are taking. Because remember, Clockwork also worked on PlayStation All Stars.
yeah. That's the game everyone forgets about. PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
I literally played that yesterday. That game
Wow.
is rough. The game is rough.
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of cool things in it, but the game itself, like you know, the animations, the models, I thought shit like that was kind of janky.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, but yeah, so far, I believe that not MK. I'm sorry. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, whatever you want to call it, Battle for the Grid,
Yeah,
uh,
BFG,
BFG,
BFTG.
BFG for you Doom players out there.
Yeah, BFG.
Battle for the Grid, they've shown, I think, 9 characters, and every single character
Yeah,
they've shown so far has a clear play style. So you're not going to be seeing. You might have similar. I guess I should say playability, because this is a light, medium, hard, special button layout.
yeah,
But you're definitely not going to have every single character be a rushdown character. Every single character be keep away. So far, in fact, I think they've only shown one character that's keep away.
yeah. I was gonna say everything so far seems very rushed down. Red Ranger rushed down, Green Ranger rushed down, Lord Draken, if you want to call him Tommy or whatever, rushed down. I mean, the footage I've seen is really just those 3 characters. I know they've announced the Black Ranger, Yellow. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
everything, at least from what Justin and that Yipes footage, it's all rushed down.
yeah. So there's new footage that was just posted within the last day or two, and it shows off the. It is the Black Ranger, but it's not the Black Ranger.
Yeah,
So
it's one of the different series.
yeah, to bring you guys up to speed, I think some of it pulls from the comic books because,
Yes.
as everyone knows, Power Rangers is based off of the Japanese Super Sentai series that's been going on for since before most of us were born.
Yeah, at least 30 plus years, 30 something years.
Hmm. And some geniuses at Saban one year decided, let's take those action scenes and film real live action American stuff going on. And they basically cobbled together a show out of it, a show that a lot of us grew up loving. So we're going to see some of those characters show up, but we're also going to see the extended universe characters because Power Rangers as an American show, I checked on YouTube today, in fact, there are, at least on YouTube, about 12 series that we can watch now, 12 to 20. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
I
there's it's
around
a
Turbo.
crazy amount of seasons.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot going on there, and there's a bunch of characters. So I'm only going to be able to talk about them by their colors because I'm a racist. No, I'm only going to be talking about their colors because I don't really know
Racist.
the name of them. Like this Draken guy, he's new to me. I
Well,
know the OG Green Ranger's
yeah.
there. OG, I think OG Red
Well,
Ranger. The
he
Yellow
is
Ranger
Green
is
Ranger. He's
one
Tommy.
of them.
Like you said, they're pulling from the comics as well as the shows. So like
Yes,
Draken is like I think he's from the comics. I don't think I've ever seen him in a show.
it's like an alternate reality Green
He's
Ranger.
Tommy, but like bad, but
Yes,
old,
yes.
basically.
Yeah, evil Tommy, I
Evil
guess.
Tommy. They just couldn't name him that.
Yeah. There's a Yellow Ranger that they've shown so far that is from the series I don't know. A I saw it's not exactly pink. It's like white and pink. Um, I don't remember what that one's called.
Yeah, to be honest, anything after Power Rangers in Space or whatever that shit was called, Neo, Zeo, I can't remember. It's like that's I lose track.
Yeah. There's a lot, and I didn't keep up with it. And then there's Goldar as far as bad guys go, and I think that was it. I didn't see. I know that the trailer shows a couple more characters, but the only monster character that I saw was Goldar. They also showed off how to use the Megazord meter. In the middle of the screen, basically, after you lose one character, you get access to calling out a Megazord. And what it is, it's in in an X Factor like sense, you call it and your opponent can't call it, or your opponent calls it and you can't call it while there's this active. And for an amount of time, light, medium, hard will all call out a different attack from the Megazord to happen on screen for you to use as a mix-up. It's basically it takes place of your assist that you lost when you lost a character.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
which seems like a really cool feature. I really can't wait to actually try it. They keep saying it's coming out April, but April's like right around the corner. I don't think this can be done by that. Something this big, that many characters, that much nuance. I would hope it comes out a little later.
yeah, I'm bringing it up on the PlayStation Store in a second, but basically, the pre-order's up, and it might give a date there, but I don't remember there being a solid date. Let's see. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid starts out at 1999, and I think that the special edition, which comes with all the DLC characters or that are going to be released over time, is 30.
Yeah,
And
and that's not
see,
bad at all. It's a budget game for anyone, whether you're a fighting gamer or a normal gamer. It's something everyone can get into.
oh yeah. It's perfect. It's again, it's more like they looked at MVCI and were like, where did they fail with this? And even visually, its budget. You can look at it in its budget, but
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
better than MVCI if you ask me. The some of the textures aren't there, but again, budget.
Yep.
Uh, PlayStation Network has it listed as coming 12/31/2019, which is basically their version of TBA. So I don't know when it's going to come out.
Yeah, so we won't have to worry about it that much, but let's just go ahead and just say that it'll be a summer game. That's what I'm gonna have to say.
Yeah, you know what would have been cool is, and this will go into our next topic. In fact, if
Mm-hmm.
it made the Evo lineup, this would be a really cool Evo game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is the lineup we have on screen here. Evo has been announced. It's over with. It's too late to cry. We have
Hmm.
Street Fighter V set in stone, like everyone knows.
Yeah.
Tekken given. Smash Brothers Ultimate given. The one thing about Smash that everyone's kind of shocked and all the Melee players are crying about is, of course, Melee's not there. I personally don't give a fuck. Um, my
Maybe,
quick opinion is that we, as fighting game players, usually adopt the next game in the series, right?
yep, yep.
Even though we still go back, you're not going to see Super Turbo on Evo main stage. It's
Even though
just
you,
not going to. It's not going to happen, dude.
yeah, I know.
So I feel like the Smash community, they need to get it together and start moving on, basically. And yeah, Melee can still be huge, but it's not going to be Evo huge. You know what I mean?
Yes. With that said, also they've already experienced this before when Brawl and Smash 4 came out, especially Brawl.
Oh yeah.
That split the community, and people
Oh
decided
yeah.
that they were going to stay with Melee, and some decided that they were going to take up 4. We've seen it with every major Street Fighter release. There are
Everyone.
like me that only play Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That's it.
Now that I think about that, the only time we had a choice was
Mhm.
during the Street Fighter 3 and Alpha. So Street Fighter 3 Vanilla, Street Fighter Alpha 2 were out at the same time.
Mhm.
So of course a lot of people hated SF3 Vanilla because it does kind of feel weird.
Yeah.
Um, it didn't play like SF2, so everyone just went to Alpha. That's the only time we had a choice.
Yeah. And other than
And
that, we
Evil
got one,
wasn't a thing then. So, you
and you
know,
had to take it or leave it.
you had to take it or leave it,
Yeah.
basically.
And and even then, the Melee community, in my eyes, is equal to the ST community, and that community won't die so long as y'all keep playing your game. You
Yep.
usually already have your own tournaments going on.
Yeah.
It's great that you were even at Evo, seeing that people still don't know whether to take that as a fighting game or not.
Yeah. And you proved that it should be, in my opinion. It is a fighting game. It's hard.
Yeah.
Melee's harder as fuck. You know, all the mechanics are just as many mechanics as any other fighting game. It's just that they choose to play themselves separate. You know what I mean? They don't choose to assimilate.
Yeah. Yeah, you could get together and you can make it a bigger thing than it is, but you're not. You should just start consolidating your efforts
Yep.
and making stuff about Smash, all of Smash.
Yeah. But anyways, aside from Smash, we got MK11, which is a
Yep.
given. I knew it was gonna be there. I think everyone did. Soul Calibur 6, same thing in my opinion. It was kind of a given. It was gonna be there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
All right.
The
For Soul
second
Calibur.
3D game, if you want to count that. If people don't consider MK a 3D game because it is a 2D playing game.
But it plays like Tekken, if you ask me.
Yeah, but of course, the shocker, I think, out of even more of a shocker than Samurai Showdown, Under Night in Birth, because it's replacing Guilty Gear. You know, that's
Yeah.
a huge, huge shocker to me.
Yeah. I'm also a Guilty Gear player. I play Axel in May, and Guilty Gear for me has gotten pretty stale. So I'm okay with this change. Guilty Gear is a great game. I love Guilty Gear. I can't wait to see what Daisuke and the team are bringing up for the next.
Hmm.
But Rev 2 came out like 2 years ago
It's been a
ish.
while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. They already got Biken out. She was pretty much the last DLC character, if I remember. And they pushed maybe one patch after her or around her. And since then, the meta is set in stone. Uh, it's got good balance because it's a Guilty Gear game. There's most characters. If you play any character well enough, you can make it. And it's not like a MVC2 and even MVC3 to some degree scenario where there are certain chances that you're not going to have with a particular setup or characters. But Guilty Gear, if you're strong, if you try hard, Guilty Gear is the most like pull yourself up by the bootstraps game I could think of that can make it happen.
Yeah, make it
You,
work basically.
yeah, yeah. There's no Q, like you got to be a genius player to win with Q a lot.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be a genius player to win with every character. You just have to be able to play your character consistently, play them well. So I'm okay with that because Under Night is super fun. I don't know if you've been playing any of it.
I've tried it for the first time last week, and
Mhm.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's very easy to pick up.
Yes.
It's an anime game, but it's not air. It's you're not in the air the whole time.
Hmm.
Um, I don't have much else to say other than it's fun. But
Yeah, yeah.
of course, we got DBZ. That is our Marvel replacement, DBZ. Uh, you
More
know,
Marvel
everyone's
was.
cracking out on DBZ now. That is crack.
Yeah, there are definitely problems with how certain parts of the game work, but I feel that most of that came from accessibility's sake with the super dash. And honestly, the biggest issue that I see from a player standpoint is that there isn't solid enough defensive mechanics. I think they buffed guard cancel or brought in guard cancel just recently. I haven't played the game in a minute, but outside of that, you only have deflect,
Yeah,
and that's kind of rough.
yeah. You kind of get rushed down, but that's Marvel too. So
Yeah, Marvel had push block. Marvel's had push block
that's true. Maybe they could add that.
a lot more than you feel it does.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, but aside from that, Blaze Blue Cross Tag, which was doing strong still. I mean, I personally don't like it, but that's fuck it. Let anime get another game. That's all I
yep,
see it.
it's kind of a fun game,
Yep.
but it's also strangely. I don't know how to. It's like I prefer it. I definitely prefer it over Blaze Blue. Um,
Regular Blaze Blue or Blast
yeah,
Blue.
yeah. But I don't. I still when we have a game like DBZ around, I feel more inclined to play that. Hell, I would almost more or less play MVCI over
MVCI is fun. It is a fun game.
a fun game. It's just gross.
It's gross to look at, and it's sad
Yeah.
when you look at Marvel 3 and then you look at that. You're like, oh, you
The
put your head
roster
down.
is also super unfulfilling.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel great, but everybody knows that. Whatever.
And then we like the last here, the elephant in the room, Samurai Showdown, a
Hmm.
game that it's not even going to be completed until June, I think, right?
Yeah, but Mortal Kombat only has what a month or two. Also, I think it comes out in April.
Yeah, so April, June, July,
April.
August.
May.
It has a couple months, dude. Whereas
Yeah.
Samurai Showdown has got like a month and a half.
Yes, and we haven't seen any gameplay of it.
Yeah,
So
we haven't seen anything yet, really, other than the trailers.
Samurai Showdown, in fact, is this year's cross tag battle because if you recall, the last
Oh, that's right.
cross
That's
tag
right.
wasn't either.
Yeah,
But
we'll see if they market the game with little Evo stickers on the store when you go buy Samurai Showdown.
I wouldn't put it past them. I honestly don't think that's a bad idea. It's pretty like hokey marketing, but that would be cool to just be like, this game's at Evo, please buy it and
They
try it.
might do that.
Yeah.
If Cross Tag had to do that, they might do that.
Hmm. Hmm.
But as like we said, that's the elephant in the room because it kicked out DOA.
Yeah.
Maybe because of its core values. I don't know. I mean, if you look here on the screen, to me this doesn't seem bad at all. I like this core values here. You know?
Also, to be completely fair, those are grab idols. They get paid to be pretty girls. They're
Yeah.
basically
That's what they do.
exactly.
And maybe this fiasco right here is what set you know them down the drain as far as not being able to make it at Evo, which is unfortunate because DOA was almost never taken seriously, like ever,
No,
right?
no, I don't take it seriously, and I enjoy the core values of the
Me
game.
too.
I don't
I'm
care.
not gonna lie about it. I like it. The fan service is part of the reason why you like DOA. It, because you don't get that in the other games, really.
No, no, you don't. Man, I'm an Armika player, and look what they did to that poor girl in Street Fighter Five. Oh,
Yeah, and the whole thing about them being not included based on like the sexuality aspect, it is kind of hypocritical. Like we say, and everyone's been saying that you shy away from cleavage and butts and things like that, but you allow gore and killing in
hmm
games like Samsho and MK.
yeah.
So there's a lot of hypocrisy, and I feel bad for DOA players because I am technically a DOA player, and
Mm,
I just feel bad for them, the ones that take it seriously, because they're
yeah.
not going to get really anything. I don't think they'll get many tournaments at all.
No, they'll have a side tournament, and for as much as I'm not the biggest fan of Evo as an industry kind of standard thing, uh, I do think that it's important for games to be shown there. And DOA being a game that just came out, that came out before MK11, that came out before Sam Show, that is an established game already, should at least get its first year. Like this is MVCI all over again.
Yeah,
MVCI came out right basically a little bit before Evo last year, and they're like, "Yep, it's not gonna be an Evo because of reasons."
yeah. I mean, it's sad, man. It's really shitty. I feel bad for them. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, yeah. DOA should be represented. Yeah, I don't even really play it, but it's a new game. It's a fighting game. They're on their sixth entry, and that's a lot better than what we can say about our mutual favorite fighting game, Virtua Fighter.
Yeah,
Right?
we're just dying for a sequel here.
Anything. We're dying for news. If they could just tell us, Sega, if you're somehow watching this Podunk podcast, just say no. You can break up with us and we'll understand. But this
Yeah.
whole like never gonna talk about it, but still hold like Virtua Fighter retrospectives every year, and for Sega Europe to hold like an online tournament for VF5 FS and not give us any kind of indication on whether or not you're even thinking about doing VF7.
Yeah, like even just like it's coming, guys. That's all you have to say. It can come 5 years from now, as long as you said it's coming, because there's no news whatsoever.
And that sucks. But what I mean to get at there is that DOA is still being supported by its devs, and it's still a real thing,
Yeah,
and people are out there playing it. They're playing it right now.
yeah. And unfortunately, you're not gonna see him play it, all because of some jiggle physics.
hmm
It's a shame.
They'll show up at Evo, and they'll probably set up a side tourney, and it'll be streamed. But you know this because you've worked in commentary, and we've both been into Virtua Fighter to know that we have side events. But you know how hard it is, especially in a venue like the Vegas Convention Center or whatever it's called. How hard it is to get a dedicated streaming time and setup. It's so much easier when you're part of Evo.
Yeah, it was at the Mandalay. Is that where we were? Mandalay? Yeah.
Man, I don't.
I can't remember now. My head's exploding. But uh, that big convention center room, how we had it and how the floor layout was, it was really cramped. Like, but they had so much room. That's what really pissed me off because um, there was so much room to spread it out and get like a better stream setup or blah blah blah. But we were cramped in the corner, and all the booths were like, there was just too much unused space. Let's just say. So yeah, it was a pain in the butt.
Yeah, yeah, and the thing is if you are I don't want to say a real game, but if you're one of the Evo 9, you're there. They have everything taken care of. You just get your guys there. They go in and they play.
Yeah, you got
But
to. Yeah,
doing your own side
basically.
opponent, you have to bring all your equipment. You got to sort out the internet connection.
Oh yeah, shout outs to Escaping Workforce. He did a good job at making that work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, our in a way, our hearts go out to you DOA players. But
Yeah,
you're gonna have to shoulder it and make it work because look at Undernight. Undernight is basically Melty Blood. And what is Melty Blood famous for? Melty Blood is famous for being played anywhere.
in the trash can,
In the trash can,
in the urinal.
the Target parking lot, the
Yep.
in line at the airport. They don't care, but they play. And they rode it kind of in a way. They kind of rode the bench for a long time, just waiting to be put into the game, and now they got their chance.
They
So
got it now.
I almost guarantee you that if DOA can kind of be really strong, they can make it to Evo. Just not this year.
Yeah, maybe next year. Unfortunate to say that. But let's move on. So we have Soul Calibur latest updates. I know you're the Soul Calibur guy right now. I unfortunately have not been able to really play it. Um, I'll have a little bit more room, but I'm gonna pull up the patch notes, at least the latest ones I found on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So what we at version 1.11, right? Or
Uh,
1.2? My bad.
yes, they're 1.1.20. No, I think it might be 1.21. They did a little bit more adjustments for character hitboxes. The 1.20 update was more or less bringing 2B into the game, and the game is pretty strong. I have to say I play less of it than I have, but that's mostly because my girl Julia made it back. We'll talk about that later. But I'm an Astaroth player, and Astaroth has issues in Soul Calibur. He is fun, and he does the damage. He does big guy things. But the problem is that a lot of other characters do big guy things, and they're not big guys. But that game is going to be strong. I've been watching the next level battle circuit. If you guys don't subscribe to, I think it's just Team Spooky, right?
Team Spooky.
Yeah, you guys should subscribe to that. They're cats up in New York, and they do stuff daily, I think. But
Almost every day.
yeah, yeah, there's always content. So I've been watching those guys. Those guys play a lot recently. Um, what else to say about that though? Tira is no longer useless. She was not great. She was basically right around Astaroth. She got a total like 22 buffs or something silly. But regardless of the number, they adjusted a lot of things on her, and she's definitely a stronger, much stronger player character now. Um, what else regarding Soul Calibur? Amy's on the way.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that.
Yeah, Amy to me is like, for those that don't know, she first came out in Soul Calibur 3. So that's like the dark horse game. Like no one really liked it. So bringing characters back from like
in the
Soul
arcade.
Calibur 3 is like what? What? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
She's got fans, dude. You remember when they didn't put Talum in a game and how many voices had to scream
Oh,
about.
all those perverts. Oh my god.
And this is the thing, y'all. You don't want to be perverts. Like, go play DOA 6. It's got Marie Rose. It's got Nico.
Yeah,
and
Marie
both of them
Rose.
they're
Yeah.
just girls. Just get your rocks off over there. But Amy is coming. Sometime, I think it's within a month's time, she'll drop. Hopefully, a few more balance changes happen because Astaroth needs some help. Okubo. Um, what else do we got going on? And this falls in line with the data mining that's been happening. So they data mined a pretty decent list of characters for or character code names in that game, and among that list were Amy and Cassandra. The thing that sucks about that is, as much as I like Cassandra because I'm also a Sophitia player, a shameful Sophitia player, I play Cassandra, but there's a lot of styles that are represented in Soul Calibur as a franchise that aren't being represented right now. And we already have Raphael, and we already have Sophitia, and I know for a fact that Amy and Cassandra, if she's coming, play a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But we're missing out on Hild, Viola,
Killed,
Setsuko,
yeah.
Setsuka's a big one. There was the thief fighting style, which was basically the original Huang,
Yeah,
and we're missing Huang too.
with the scimitar. We need the scimitar.
Scimitar, that thing. Uh, and there's a couple more that I'm always forgetting. There's like 6 or 7 styles that aren't being represented now. If we also want to count Lizard Man, who's just but
Yeah.
he's kind of like a version of Sophitia, but he's more removed than Cassandra is. He's more unique than Cassandra is. But that sucks that we're getting Amy. But you know what? Fans, a lot of times this is a Japanese game, and Japan's character releases generally go strongly favor popularity.
Yeah.
And me is a very popular character in
For some
Japan.
reason, I don't know.
Yeah, they know what they like, right?
Yeah, they know what they like. So, you got anything else to add? Because I just don't got anything to add to this latest news.
Yeah, I know. You and me didn't really. We played a little bit of Soul Calibur. You played Nightmare.
I played
Nightmare.
Nightmare and not Amy, Ivy. I kept it cheap, you know.
I too strong. Ivy's a better grappler than Astaroth, but I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're waiting to see what happens when Amy comes out. I feel like the honeymoon period for Soul Calibur has ended. The people who are currently playing Soul Calibur are the people who have stuck with Soul Calibur. The initial run of people who were maybe interested in the new
Oh,
game,
they're gone.
yeah,
They're gone.
they're done. What else? And it's just really people who are waiting for Amy. They're going to jump into the game. Some people will convert depending on how good or bad she is. And but for what numbers you're seeing on like Steam play charts or just the general tournament numbers you're seeing in your region, those are pretty much the people who are going to keep carrying Soul Calibur in America at least.
Yeah.
So there's not really any growth there, maybe until they talk about a season two.
Yeah,
But
and it's always been less popular than Tekken as far as tournament entries go. So
yeah,
it's following the history, the stage of history, basically.
yeah. See, but the thing that always bothered me about Soul Calibur is I understand that they have a love for their casual players with the story elements, and especially the creative souls. Those are
Mm-hmm.
really big. That shouldn't be in ranked if you ask me, but I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah, I agree.
But they have a love for the casual players, and Soul Calibur as a fighting game is a little bit more. I don't know how you say lenient. It's not so focused on like million hit combos, although you can still do
Oh,
million
it's
hit
definitely
combos.
not. You can do them, but
Um, but
yeah, you
yeah,
don't need to.
I feel like they kind of us us more tournament focused or at least competitive focused people take a backseat to that. And I think that hurts the game in its longevity. That might be the only reason why the game is played mostly in France after the game dies everywhere else.
Yeah,
Uh,
the
but
Frenchies love their Soul Calibur.
they do, and that's cool. Soul Calibur, though, as far as the series goes, I will say that this is the strongest it's been in a long time, and
Yeah,
it's a good
it's definitely
strong.
my favorite.
Was that?
Since two, it's definitely my favorite since two.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it feels good. It feels like the proper three, and I think that's what it was going for. But yeah, I don't really have much to add to that. Soul Calibur, just keep doing your thing. If you guys work on Astaroth, then I'll come back to the game full time. But right now, it's on the back burner.
Yeah, Okobo is a fool. Anyways, let's move on to a great game that even less people play than Soul Calibur, Fighting EX Layer.
Oh man, you
Holy
probably have
shit.
a lot to say about this one.
Okay, well, basically, for those of you guys that don't know or haven't heard for some reason, because there is a ton of people that still don't know this exists, Fighting EX Layer is a sequel to Street Fighter Alpha, or not Alpha, Street Fighter EX. So, Arika, which is a third party developer, worked with Capcom to make a 3D Street Fighter in the 90s. It worked out pretty good. You know, it wasn't really the same feel, but it had its own kind of uniqueness, and still people love the EX games. You know, Arika brought it upon themselves to bring it back, and it's
Mhm.
been back since when October or November last year, right?
Yeah, it's been
So it's
around
been
for
out for a
a long time.
while, and they're finally releasing it in the arcades. It's out, and there's gonna be some more updates coming. You know, there was a patch recently on February 12th, but you know, as far as like adding anything significant to the game, it's not really there yet. Um, Basically, what we're really waiting for as Fexel players is the Terry Bogard DLC.
Yeah. Oh crap! I almost forgot about that. That will be cool, man. King of Fighters, dude. Just as an aside, King of Fighters or SNK, they are like they're not holding back on allowing their properties to show up everywhere. It's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
and Arika is doing work too. You know, they put Skola Lady in SNK's heroine,
Yep.
SNK heroines. Arika is also putting in work for Nintendo right now. A lot of people are cracking out on Tetris 99, which is actually made by Arika.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's not listed anywhere in the credits, but it's made by Arika.
No one. That game is so cool. I don't own a Switch yet,
Yeah.
and I might have to start a GoFundMe. No, I'm not gonna do that. But I need a Switch because that game looks dope. It's
It's
just that,
sick. It's a sick
but it's
game.
just dope Tetris. It's smart though.
Oh yeah, it's addictive. But you know, aside for that, like I said, Arika is putting in work.
Hmm.
That next DLC, I'm speculating, is supposed to be coming in April. Right now, it's March 17th, so we
Mm.
still got a little bit of while to wait. But that's really it as far as Fexel news. It's out in the arcades now. The most recent balance tweaks have happened, but nothing, as far as my knowledge, has been taking off. You know, things like Infinity, the simple gems like Babel, Infinity, um, even things like Thunderbolt, and I can't remember the other one. Those are getting kind of strong. You know, people are figuring out all the loops with all the characters. Jack has a lot of loops. Rosso is really strong. Alan's still strong.
The
So
juggles in the game are tight.
the juggles are very tight. It's a high execution game, I would say, compared to SF5.
Yeah, that's what's interesting to me is because despite how many people uh, kind of make a lot of noise about Street Fighter 4, um, Fexel, Fighting Layer would be a good game for them to start to transition to. I think that
Yes.
just the dexterity and the mechanics feed well into the type of player that excelled at at Street Fighter 4. It just doesn't have Street Fighter characters, but
Yeah, it just doesn't have Street Fighter characters, but it still plays like Street Fighter.
mhm,
You
mhm.
know,
I think
so
it's prettier than the Street Fighter 4
and
by
in my
far.
opinion, the chains make it a little bit easier for new people to get into. And I also like to add, there's been a permanent price drop. It is now $39.99.
For the full thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, $39.99 is now the price drops price.
Okay.
So yeah, get it out there.
It's
Play
worth
it,
it.
guys. It's cheap now.
That and Under Night and Birth. Get both of those games.
Get them up, and yeah, we do have more DLC coming. We got Arya teased, Sharon teased,
Hmm.
and I can't
And
remember if
Perry's
there's
on the way.
another one. What was that?
I said Terry is on the way
Oh
also.
yeah, and
So that
Terry. So yeah,
at least three characters, two returning Eureka characters, and one dope SNK standby.
yeah. I mean, I'm really interested to see how Terry turns out. But as of right now, we really don't know anything. There hasn't been no footage, nothing like that. We just know that it's cheaper now, and check it out. So that's it for Flexel.
Solid game. If you don't, I played a little bit of it. I fell off just because of Soul Calibur coming out around the same time as Volcano Rosso, who I was waiting for,
Yeah.
and just the overall execution. How's the net code though? I don't really play much
So,
online.
quick comment on the netcode. It's not very good.
No.
It's on PS4. It's a little bit better only because you can get a wider pool of people to get matches from.
Hmm.
Therefore, just by default, having a wider pool of people means you have more chances to get good matches. Whereas on PC, even though most people are probably hardwired on PC, there's less people. You probably get like 2 to 3 players a day on PC, which is really sad.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's bad. It's really desolate on PC. So
yeah,
shout outs to the Fexel Discord because you're gonna need it.
yeah. And this is a kind of an added thing that not specific to Fighting Layer. If there is a game that you're interested in, chances are in this day and age there is a
Discord.
Discord
Yep.
server dedicated to it. Check it out because people who are really passionate kind of live there, and you can find good info, and you can probably find other players to play with instead of having to do what's the old thing we used to do. We used to jump on Fightcade, right, and just play with random anonymous people.
Randoms.
Yeah, yeah. I got Discord now. It's an age of I don't even know being able to talk to other people.
Yeah, it's the internet age. Come on,
Yeah,
pops.
yeah. Whatever,
Come on,
whatever,
old
whatever,
man.
whatever.
Anyways, let's move on. Grand Blue Fantasy versus trailer. So I'm gonna play this right now. And
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know shit about Grand Blue. I've never played it, never wanted to play it. I mean, if I was gonna play a browser RPG,
Mhm.
like I'd rather just download Fantasy Star.
Yo, can we not talk about Fantasy Star? In fact,
I mean, I'm just
we'll
saying, if
never
I'm gonna
talk
play
about.
any sort of RPG, it's gonna be Fantasy Star or Final Fantasy 14 or WoW or Maple Story or something like that.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just upset
Yeah.
about Fantasy Star Online too, which is getting King of Fighters characters, but we're not going to
Ugh.
talk about that because Sega won't give it to us.
Oh God.
Yeah. So Grand Blue is it's cool looking. Okay,
It looks very pretty.
this is Arxis
It's
here we're
Arxis,
talking about.
yes.
They have 2D cell shading, whatever you want to call it, 3D graphics on lock,
It looks
and
just as good as Exerd, if not better.
if not better,
Yeah.
if not better. This is a beautiful game. I don't know too much about it. I need to sit down and do a little bit more research. I think they've shown off a total of 4 characters now. The thing that you've got playing in the middle there is the one of the newest characters. Believe his name is Lil Wayne, and then not Lil Wayne,
Lil Wayne,
Wayne, and they also
Weezy.
show a summon. So you can kind of do a little bit of Final Fantasy X kind of stuff here, and summon a goddess to take your place in the middle of the battle. I don't know if it's because I don't speak Japanese. I don't know if it's a comeback mechanic or if it's kind of like a gem or Infinity Stone type of a thing where you have to have it installed or
Yeah, the
chosen.
only thing we can assume is that it's meter based somehow. Whether you gain the meter from getting hit or hitting the other person, we don't know. I mean, I can't tell from the trailer. There's no meters shown anywhere really. I mean, there's a few, but you know,
Yeah.
it's not very clear what's going on. They're just showing the moves and the animations
Mhm.
and the summons and shit like that.
The gameplay looks to be slower than the Guilty Gear and the Dragon Ball that we're used to.
Yeah, it
Uh,
definitely looks a little bit more ground based, kind of like Uniel, where you're not necessarily in the air the whole time.
hmm Yeah, less air dasher, I
Yeah,
guess.
this
Less
definitely
air.
looks less air dashy. I mean, they're not showing too much combat, but
hmm
the way they're hitting people, I'm not seeing jump ins or anything like that.
Yep. Um, I gonna have to say I don't have much to say about it, just mostly because I don't read Japanese and I haven't taken the time to delve into what the speculation is with this game. It looks gorgeous though.
Yeah. And same here. Not much to say. Let's pass on to the next subject. Super Arcade. What's going down with Super Arcade? They're really not necessarily struggling, but I think people are sleeping on it very badly.
Yeah, if anybody here is in the Los Angeles area, anybody listening to this is in the Los Angeles area, or anybody is going to be traveling to the Los Angeles area, check out Super Arcade. Mike Watson, he is an ST legend. He also plays a little bit of MVC2. He's just a great guy. He comes off as a bit standoffish in some of his tweets. You can follow them at what is it?
Super Dojo on Twitter.
Super Dojo on Twitter. But yeah, keep your eye on this guy. We used to spend so much time at the original Super Arcade in Walnut, California, and it had some problems and closed for a little bit due to some management stuff for the property. But it's now back. It's in Azusa, and it's a cool place to be. You can bring your own setups. You can kind of run whatever you want to. They have
Yeah.
They have monthlies now, or is it bi-weeklies for the most part for pretty much any
Bi-weeklies for
game you think of?
Tekken, Soul Calibur, and Mortal Kombat. And there's
Hmm.
weeklies for Street Fighter on Tuesday, and Wednesday, surprisingly, they're playing Marvel Infinite.
Yeah, yeah. They play all Marvels there.
Yeah, Marvel is a huge staple at Super Arcade.
And
Doesn't
they
matter
have
which
arcade
one.
games, proper arcade games. They've got we played threes there. I've played MVC2 there. There's a Street Fighter Alpha machine, and there's a proper ST.
Yep, and a CVS too. Don't forget.
Oh, CVS2.
Yep.
Yes, CVS2. CVS2 is great. It needs to be on everything. Why isn't it on everything? Capcom SNK, just get your royalties together or whatever
Yeah,
and make it happen.
make it happen. But yeah, they're also doing pinball now. You know, you gotta check this Twitter, guys. We just want to use this little segment as a plug for Super Arcade because even though I just moved away from Cali, Super
Mhm.
Arcade is still my home.
Yeah, we plan on covering more local scenes just to kind of keep people abreast of what's going on. But we felt that we kind of needed to give Super Arcade its more of a push, right? Not like Roman Reigns,
No,
but
but you
more like.
definitely like if you're a Street Fighter Five player and you're in Cali and you're just like only attending Wednesday night fights, you know, you're really like limiting yourself. You're
Mhm.
kind of like I don't want to call people out, but you're putting a stake in the ground. You're like drawing that line in the sand, and you're saying we only want to play here because it's nice and it's all pretty and they got esports lighting and blah 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 blah. You know, like Super Arcade doesn't have that shit, but it's a solid foundation. You know, I don't know. You just everyone needs to stop sleeping and just go stop fronting and support.
Yep, and that goes out for pretty much anybody that has a car and has a scene that's within 45 minutes. You gotta get out there and you have to play some more offline. Online is cool, but it builds bad habits, and not everybody is an online genius. You get together with people offline. That's how you make friends. That's how Icky and I met,
Yep.
and you learn things that you would have never gotten online because there's definitely a mental, physical, and emotional disconnect when you're not playing in person.
Yeah. 100% agree. So, check out Super Arcade. They're open almost every fucking day. Just check out that Twitter, which is Super Dojo on Twitter.
Yeah, at least follow them.
Yeah.
At least follow them because they do stream, and and while I admit the stream still needs some work, or at least a little bit more, I don't know what you want to call it, like focus, regularity, some kind of structure. Needs more structure. You can still catch a lot of top players out here playing Super Dojo.
Yes. So let's move on to this next one, which is a little bit of a interesting one. We'll have to touch back on Evo, but Evo Japan's monetary failure.
Yeah, Evo Japan happened. It already happened,
This
right?
happened a long time ago. We're commenting on old ideas that we've had in the bag for so long.
Yeah, well, obviously it already happened
Yeah.
because this is where they showed off DOA 6 pre-release. But Evo in Japan is really rough. It was not anywhere near any of our major tournaments as far as just how smoothly it was run. Um,
Viewership. Viewership
Viewership.
was way
It,
low.
I read that it lost money because they can't take money for entrance because of Japan's gambling laws, which are pretty strict.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like branding and an Evo in Japan would work like that because of literally what you just said. Um, I think Mr. Wizard's getting a little bit in over his head trying to
Hmm.
do some shit like that. I think those
Yeah.
are like one of those situations where he's blinded by the little money bags, the little money symbols.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think that they thought that they could just kind of run in and do it, and that's not how it's going to work.
no, not even with all the help and the tournament organizers they had helping them that were Japanese. It's just all those things that you just said, the logistics, the space. I know all the footage and videos you've seen from Eva Japan. It's just like crammed. You're just crammed in there. Like
Yeah,
I
which
don't
is
know.
crazy too because you and I both watch things like the Cooperation Cup for Third Strike and the Beat Tribe. Um,
Yeah, VFB tribe.
yeah, VFB tribe, and those have a lot of entrants. Not nearly the Evo numbers,
No.
but they run them really, really well on the what little budget and what little space that they
Oh
have.
yeah. What was the last one we just saw? Pre Beat Tribe Cup, which was a couple weeks ago. That
So good.
so good, amazing, and they run it smooth. They stream it smooth. The matches keep coming. You know,
Mhm.
I just don't know. They should actually scale it back to make Evo Japan work. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's bizarre because Japan has been running, and the Japanese player bases have been running tournaments just fine. But when it comes to a major like Evo, like there's Arc Revo. Remember Super Battle Opera?
Yeah,
Super
SBO.
Battle Opera was crazy.
Yeah,
It ran pretty well from what I remember.
yeah. So I don't know what they need to do, but we just wanted to touch on that just a little bit. We're trying to get all these topics, swept under the rug. But I don't know. I think for next year, if they do another one, they're gonna have to change something.
Hmm.
Whether it's the amount of games they have or where they have it, I
Yeah.
just don't know what
Also,
they
they're
can
gonna
do.
have to get a lot of the politics and stuff out of the way.
That
Two of
too.
the
Yeah.
biggest blunders that occurred there was the fact that one, DBZ wasn't a game.
Yeah. That was due
Even
to
Japan,
Bandai Namco's licensing in Japan,
some
right?
kind of licensing or the people up at the top who owned, which is very strange because it generally runs without a hitch out here. But I think that's also affected some of our tournaments too.
I mean, it almost affected Smash when Melee was being, what was it, 2015, 2014? I don't remember.
Oh, I
It almost
forgot.
affected us, but it doesn't
Nintendo didn't
really.
want it.
What was that?
I said Nintendo didn't want it to be shown or something.
Yeah, I can't remember the whole details, but it's the same thing. They have the right to necessarily say yes or no, kind of. So, I mean,
Just say yes.
yeah,
It's not.
it
It's your
doesn't hurt
game
you in any
getting
way.
exposure, right?
It doesn't hurt them.
And they're good games. And then anyway, the second biggest fumble was the DOA fiasco, the core values thing that we always joke about. Um, they somehow had a live kind of exhibition of the game, including actresses that were hired, and for whatever reason, they didn't know what they were getting into.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not know?
I don't know.
How do you not know?
It's DOA like it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't for them because for Tecmo Koei because if they showed off DOA in a like a sterile kind of situation, people wouldn't care, right?
No, and
But
everyone knows. Japan knew what they were getting themselves into.
yeah,
That's just
yeah,
how they. That's the culture. Sexual uh,
imagery.
humor or anything like that is not weird to them. It's weird to Americans. It's
Yeah,
taboo here, but it's almost like a no-brainer. It's like you knew, you already knew,
you know,
you
yeah.
knew,
I don't. And then they had to they cut it short and acted kind of
and
surprised.
apologize for it. It's like, oh, we're so sorry. The actions taken by the DOA model something doesn't reflect our core values, and then now it's a whole meme.
Yeah, dude, that
So I
Kid
don't know. Evo
Markman said
Japan, you guys need to get it together.
that, dude.
Nothing else to add.
Yeah, let's get over that one. That sucks.
Sorry, this one's for you because you've been grinding this game as
Yep,
well.
yep, yep. So Tekken 7, we got Julia and Negan. Both characters super strong. So right now, I think that rounds out all of season 3 of Tekken 7, and we got Anna and Lei,
Yeah,
which they came out, people were happy, but I feel like the overall climate about those characters was pretty underwhelming. You're still not really seeing, especially Anna, you're not seeing them in tournament level play as much or at all. Now that I think about it, I think Sukin, I can't remember.
Sukin.
Yeah, he plays Lei, and he plays Lei very well. But he's pretty much the only one. there's probably other Japanese players and Korean players that are doing it, but on a at least at the American tournaments, you're not seeing those characters. You're just
No.
down and lay. Um, After that, we had Marduk and Armor King. Those released to great fanfare, and those characters, uh, especially in contrast to Anna and Lei, are super cool. Those characters, just as Marduk shows up and he just throws a car or an SUV in
Yeah.
the intro, and Armor King is just dripping in dope. He, that guy, holy crap! King probably feels like a very small kitten next to Armor King. And then most recently, we got Julian Negan.
Yep.
I'm gonna save Julia for the last bit because I play her, and I've been waiting for her for a while. And it was dumb that she was not in Tekken 7's core roster, but we kind of felt that that was going to be represented eventually. Negan surprised everybody at Evo last year. Remember that?
Oh yeah, like we were in the hotel room I think when they
Yes.
announced him. And I was like, "What?" I just started laughing, right? I was like, "Negan? Negan?" Like, and then you see him, his fighting style is basically Miguel in my opinion with a bat, you know?
Yes,
He's not a martial artist.
absolutely borrows moves from Miguel, and that's not a it's not exactly a strange thing for Tekken because Tekken has kings and armor kings, Horong and Baix. So for a character like Miguel to kind of have not a clone, but to borrow words from Smash,
Yeah.
an echo,
Echo.
um, is okay, especially because of the fact that Miguel in Tekken 7 is underwhelming. Not a lot of people play Miguel. He's kind of got like T-Rex arms, bit stubby. His kicks are even stubby. He has good damage output, but he's not nearly as versatile as pretty much everybody. I think you only see the character you see less than him. No, I see more Gigases. I see more Gigases
You see
than
more
Miguel's.
Gigases than Miguel's?
Yeah, dude. And Gigas was widely regarded
Is
as
the
gig
worst.
ass.
Yeah, gig ass. That's what I remember. Because,
Yeah.
like, letting you guys in the chat know, I haven't played Tekken 7 in about a year. You think about it. It's been a long time since I played this game.
Yeah, yeah. You play what, King?
Just King and Paul.
Yeah, and Paul, stupid Paul. You dropped the game pretty quick.
Yeah, it's just me being VF. I have that slight bias that I always say. It just doesn't flow as good.
I agree.
It doesn't flow the
I
same.
have always said that Tekken movement
More restrictive.
it's more restrictive to people who aren't accustomed to it or who haven't like put in the work because
And I'm honest, I didn't put in the work to do the backdash canceling.
I put in the work and I still don't have it right.
Yeah.
It's a lot like for some people who might understand, it's a lot like Melee. Melee, you can play normally, but or even MVC2, with wave dashing and everything, and box jumping and try jumping. But if you're not down with the like advanced movement mechanics, you are at a severe disadvantage. The game does not feel good.
Yeah, if you can't move,
Yeah.
you are gonna get run over.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see it all the time. New players or people less accustomed to movement, they're trying to back up, but they end up just walking or doing something like that, and then it's just they get caught up, and then they're done.
Yeah, controlling space. Controlling space is a nightmare in Tekken if you're
Yeah,
not.
they can't whiff punish because they can't get in range fast enough.
Yeah.
Those players, you know what I mean?
Yep. But yeah, I stuck with it. Strangely enough, I ended up only playing characters whose name starts with J in the absence of Julia. So
Yeah.
I play Josie and Jack, and then Julia's come out.
Yeah. So how's Julia?
Julia feels great.
Oh,
She
really?
she feels like that kind of character that I remember, the kind of sweet science of you're not doing what everybody else is doing. So a lot of Tekken, high level Tekken is definitely movement, but outside of movement, you're fishing for those launches. And Julia is less of that. Julia is more of a bully and she gets in with the Party Crasher forward forward one,
Mm-hmm.
and she gets in and she stays in your face and kind of forces you to either choke or put out a move that has too much recovery in it. Then she'll launch you.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's vaguely similar to the Akira elbow pressure.
yes, yeah,
Vaguely
and
similar.
they're both kind of like what Baji Kwan or whatever
Yeah.
that is. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Kind of like Akira. I don't even play Akira, but I'm feeling her. It feels good to have Julia back. She plays properly.
Feels good, man.
Yeah, people to watch for Julia play. If you guys are Julia players or are interested in Julia, Korean player by the name of Chanel, and I don't know if he's Irish or Scottish. I'll just put him in the realm of the UK. His name is Fergus. Both of those two are definitely two to look out for, especially going into Evo. They're gonna represent. I'm not gonna tell you if they're top, three, top 10 material. Maybe Chanel. Chanel is a very smart player, but they both main Julia. Negan, I don't know about Negan. I know that Nee tried to play Negan in a recent
Yeah, Negan. Yeah.
Cup, but that didn't go very well. And then I believe I read something about him saying that he was never going to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. He could end up being kind of cool, kind of good, but we're gonna have to wait. It's been not that long since he's been out, so we'll have to
Yeah.
wait
Oh,
and see.
one thing I will say about Julia too is you got to remember she is a character that in the games that she appears in has a dual personality since Tekken Tag
Yeah,
22. So she has JC and she has Julia, and you're not going to get the same moves with both characters. Similar playstyle, but I can guarantee you, if some of you haven't picked up Julia yet, or haven't even, or were thinking about it, if you play JC, you're not going to have the same stuff. You're going to have a lot of good tools. You're just not going to have all of the cool wrestling stuff. So I hope
yeah.
that
Unfortunately,
it's back, but at the same time, I like Julia also. So they're both fine for me.
yeah. So I guess we also want to comment on the Tekken World Tour finally getting some dates here. So, I honestly can't remember what actually the first World Tour stop is,
I think
but
it's France.
it's France.
I think so. I'll try to quickly look it up while we're talking about it though.
Yeah, but finally announced because they've been lagging getting the announcement out for so long. I know all the Tekken players were worried. Oh, there's not going to be a second world tour. It's not happening. But as of what 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it's been announced. So
And
if France is the first stop,
yeah, Leon France, the mix-up,
the
and
mix up
that's going to be on the 20th, 4/20
420.
April.
Okay.
Blaze it, and then followed by Northwest Majors. So you're right there, dude.
Oh yeah, Northwest Majors, which is April 27th, so 427, I
Mm-hmm.
believe.
Well, 26th through the 28th.
26 to
So
7.
yeah,
I
a
just
week after
remembered
the
it was the
next one.
weekend of the 27th, which I'm gonna try to attend. I know it's at the Seattle Game Works. Um, as far as what I'll play, there's most likely MK.
Yeah, is there? Well, look for Flex, man. Yeah, I think you might do okay.
If there's flex there, I'm hella gonna enter, but we'll see. I don't think there is.
Yeah. I should also bring this up though. One of the problems that came up with Tekken World Tour last year is, remember when it concluded? I think Rangchu got, what was it, like $8,500 or something?
Oh, he didn't get anything.
Yeah, he got like
Anything.
almost nothing.
He did not get anything at all.
Yeah, so that's with Tekken being so strong, they're gonna have to try to focus somehow, or just push some money, because Namco Bandai is doing well, right? They got Dragon Ball, they got Tekken, they've got all their Namco Bandai games. I think One Piece World Seeker is about to come out. Um, I think they have the money to start doing stuff,
Yeah,
but
it doesn't mean they can't afford it. They can definitely afford it.
yeah, yeah, they can. But anyway, getting back to schedule, going into May. They're going to be in Sweden, South Korea, Australia, and then back to Illinois for Combo Breaker. I'm not going to announce all the other things. You guys can probably check it out on TekkenWorldTour.com. But Combo Breaker being in May 24th to May 26th, that is a dope freaking tournament. That's probably my favorite tournament.
Yeah, Combo Breaker seems really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone, if you haven't checked it out, or if you're kind of new to fighting games, always make some time to watch Combo Breaker. Combo Breaker's great. They got so many games. I think they got their whole venue sorted out. Combo Breaker's a very cool type of situation where they have a 24-hour venue. So there's a game room that's open all the time. Unlike with some of the other tournaments that we've heard about recently, where players either have to get kicked out or certain things don't get streamed because of like tight schedules.
Yeah.
Combo Breaker makes all of it work.
Yeah, I've heard they've been doing crazy work. They have a really sick flannel, which I know it doesn't help the tournament, but I just want to go to the tournament to get that fucking sick flannel, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, so keep if you're into Tekken, keep up to date on the Tekken World Tour. You can catch all of the dates and all of the places that it will be on TekkenWorldTour.com. And if you're a Tekken player, maybe you show up and try to throw down. Just know that you're probably not going to get paid much if you win.
Right. Oh well. Well, let's move on. We got Dragon Ball Fighters. So
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Fighters, everyone's cracking out, like I said. But the weirdest thing about this new DLC leak, that it's supposedly Kid Goku. Kid Goku.
More Gokus.
Oops, all Gokus. The meme is now for reals real.
Yeah, there were already
all Gokus is real. Like, it's no longer just a meme. We got every Goku they could ever want. Every Goku. They just need to put in Dragon Ball Goku now, because this is supposedly GT Kid Goku. We need vanilla Dragon Ball child Goku with the monkey tail and the bow staff.
So I think that this might. In fact, I kind of hope that this is also covering that base, because in the leak I also saw that one of his attacks is power pole.
Really? Because from what I'm seeing here, this is the original source post. This blog, Ryokutuya 2089.com, just list. Supposedly this is put in Jump magazine, like the monthly Jump, which I'm surprised hasn't been scanned yet, because it's only been like a day and people scan that shit hella quick.
Yeah.
But it says he becomes a Super Saiyan 3 when he does his super. So I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like, is that an install, or is that just like what's it called, Super Saiyan Goku? When he has a level 3 that he turns into level 3 when he does the level 3.
Yeah,
and only for the level 3.
I don't know. I mean, other than that, we've gotten recent characters as well. I forgot already who it was.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I've only read as far as the Goku stuff. Oh, before we leave off of Goku to go on the other characters, though, apparently he also has a hidden level 3, and a lot of people are saying
here,
that
another hidden meteor technique exists.
What was that?
It says right here, another hidden meteor technique exists.
Nobody knows what it is, but everyone's saying if it's not Goku 4, or I'm sorry, Saiyan 4, then they're out.
Yeah, right.
Might as well throw the game in the trash. It's a good game, but and I appreciate the fact that they are all different styles, the Gokus and the characters. But yeah, that's too many Gokus, man. There's so many Dragon Ball characters, dude. Pick anyone else. Anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, put lunch in the game, please. Just give me lunch.
Yo, for real,
with the gun. Give me the gun.
Rocket launcher and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever. I think they can do more. I do appreciate the fact that the game is still being supported. It's beautiful. It plays well. It needs a little bit of love as far as some of the mechanics go, but it's good. It's not dead. It's not Virtua Fighter, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not Virtua Fighter dead.
Hmm.
But anyways, let's move on because we are at an hour and a half now, so we're almost about halfway done, I think, a little bit
Yeah.
over halfway. But next topic at hand, Street Fighter Five. What the fuck is going on with this game, dude? What is going on?
Yeah, I don't, man. They released Kage, and then that was it. There hasn't been any talk of new characters or anything. I think there's rumors going around that the idea is that they're going to just shotgun all five characters out at the same time. But right now they haven't announced the season. They did say straight up that there's no season pass for this season.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
say that.
So I don't know. It's mystery.
I don't
They're
know. I think they're in the middle of a transition from a business model with this game. We have an ad system now, so it displays those ads with the shirts at the
Jesus.
moment, which is
Mm,
I'm not for it,
no.
but they just because they haven't said anything about a season four, they've been still adding stuff to the game. Like just yesterday or 2 days ago, they added the Street Fighter Alpha 2 field stage.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they added that stage and a new music track that goes with it. And I believe they updated the costumes, so now there's more costumes to buy. Um,
Oh,
they're working on the game, but what they're working on isn't necessarily of priority to the players.
no, it's a priority to nobody.
Only their wallets, really, when you think about it.
And even then, like, I don't know, man. This is stuff that nobody wanted. To add to the injury of fighting game fans, especially Street Fighter fans, is Monster Hunter World's been killing it.
Yeah,
Devil May Cry 5 just came out. That game is awesome.
Resident Evil 2
Resident Evil
killing it.
2, amazing. What is going on with Street Fighter?
I don't know. It seems like that's their main franchise that they're kind of just like shoo-shooing, like, oh, we still have this Street Fighter game here. What are we gonna do with it? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like
Excuse me.
no, you bless you. I'm just saying like what they've done with the game so far has proven to me they don't know what they're doing. Like from all the changes, nerfing defensive options, taking away offline rewards like the fight money rewards, the in-game ads, Ken's face being ugly. All the shit they've been doing has just been like they just haven't had a clear path. They're just kind of just going everywhere.
Yeah, they're grasping at straws and they're trying to make money any way they can, and nothing they're doing has been an improvement for the people that are playing the game.
Yeah,
People are still playing it, which is amazing.
yeah. It's like what that whole game reminds me of is like, that meme where that dude's like, oh, why can't I hold all these bob like insert whatever. It's like,
Like in all those Goku's.
well, it's like, why can't I hold all these ideas? And then like he drops them all right, and then he
Yeah,
picks them up, and it's all the bad ideas are the ones he picks up. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't get it. That's the only way I can describe what's going on with Street Fighter Five.
It's rough. It's not like it's definitely not as bad as like Anthem and
Oh no no
Fallout
no
76.
no 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 no
But
no
but
no no!
game perspective, like they're messing up.
Everyone's doing better than them, which is sad because traditionally Street Fighter has always been my favorite. A lot of people. If it wasn't Virtual Fighter, it was Street Fighter. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or
Yeah,
Marvel or something like that. And both Marvel and Street Fighter have shit the bed, or really just failed to meet any expectations that the core fan bases had.
yep. The common link is Capcom.
Yeah, they're not focusing their finances into making those games better.
Yeah, or there's a problem with management.
Oh, that's definitely a management problem somewhere.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know. I mean, that's all I really have to say. We only got Kage. We only got stages. There's no hints
nothing.
of any next characters except for that small Ono rumor where he had this picture of his Blanca covering E Honda.
I don't know. He always does that, so it's kind of like whatever. Now that I think about it, though, it really might be that they didn't announce any season stuff simply for I. Wow, this is the most mundane reason, but simply for the fact that they have completely sucked when it comes to containing leaks.
Yeah, everything got data mined. Always got data mined.
I think maybe that might be the reason that they just don't want any more leaks, and they're just going to continue releasing the stuff. They're not going to. I don't think they might not do anything special. They're just trying to make sure that none of it leaks because they suck.
Yeah, I mean, if that's why they're doing it, that's really sad. But whatever, I want to see Street Fighter do well, and I want Street Fighter to be good. But this is not the way to do it.
No, no, it's not. The game.
I would really like to have some sort of defensive options back, and make V reversal strong. Something just improve the experience other than the cosmetic experience.
Yeah, I think the core gameplay um, is there. They definitely need to spice it up, and they need to stop being so safe. We all remember the beta. The beta was a lot of fun for me.
It was kind of cool because there was more options in your combo route. Basically, you could do different things, whereas now it's very homogenized and
Yeah.
safe, and everything is set in stone.
Yep. Yep. It's not a good look, and that's kind of the how they've been playing the whole thing. Like I said with Tekken 7, when Anna and Leia came out, people were into it, but they were kind of underwhelmed. Armor King Marduk, Julia, and Negan have really knocked out the park. But when we're talking about Street Fighter 5, almost every character that they've released post core roster has been pretty underwhelming overall. They're just playing it really safe, and it's not working.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see some news, but like we mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, this is the same weekend as final round.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this is the weekend. Hopefully, tomorrow night we find something out. You
Hmm.
know,
Yep, we're gonna stay tuned, but who knows? We're all anything good at this point would be a pleasant surprise from Capcom's fighting game division.
yeah. Same here, man. So let's just move on to the
Mhm.
next topic: dead games, and this somewhat includes DOA 6, and we'll touch on that in a sec. But dead games, Blade Strangers came out what 4 months
Yo,
ago, 5 months
no,
ago.
it was near the end of last year, I think. Yeah,
Well, it's only been 3 months in 2019, so I don't know. It's just weird. Like I knew that game was niche, but dead, like just flatline. No one's doing shit for it, like at all.
dude. Yeah, it looked to be pretty strong. I and they had a little bit of a push at the beginning. I was interested in the game. I didn't buy it mostly because I didn't have money at the time. But the second reason was I wasn't into how slow it looked. It looked like it was running 20% slower than it should have been running.
It's in molasses.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Everybody kind of takes a long time to get running and moving and stuff. I wasn't quite sure on what the what kind of style of game it wanted to be.
It almost looked like they wanted to do Exert style keyframing with
Uh-huh.
3D models, but they couldn't like do it the right way.
Yeah, and then that slowed the game down because
Yeah,
they didn't have the proper kind of frame skipping and whatnot.
something like that. That's what visually got me. Other than that, it looked fun. Like
Yeah,
it looked
yeah,
cool. Shovel Knight's
what's going
dope.
on. But yeah, that's I can't think of any other games that came out of recently that seemed that they were contenders for big games that are dead. Like I
Well,
would have said, Under Night is a dead game, but it's not.
it's definitely not because we had at least 2 or 3 setups last Friday or 2 Fridays ago at Super Arcade, so it's definitely not done. But I was also gonna lump, Boku no Hero. You're gonna say that came and went, right?
Oh yeah, wow! I forgot the game existed.
Yeah, dude. That was another topic we had here, but I'm gonna go ahead and combine that with this one as well because you have Boku no Hero and Jump Force. Two, they're
Oh,
not
Jump.
necessarily fighting games, but fighting game players like that shit. Those arena Naruto style fighters.
Well, I can tell you why Jump Force is dead.
Well, I know the single player content and quality is definitely shitty.
Yes, worse than MVCI
You think
in
it's
that.
worse than that? I mean, do they call each other by their first name in like every sentence?
No, it's more of a an overall polish. There are scenes in the single player campaign where characters don't even move their lips.
Oh
Um,
wow.
Frieza floats off the screen at the end of a cutscene,
I have
and
seen that meme where they compare him to Poochie from The
yeah,
Simpsons.
yeah, and when you're looking at it, you think that like it's a glitch or some kind of like alpha footage or something, but no, that's in the final game.
Yeah, it seems rushed in that aspect.
It's totally rushed. Even the user interface is rushed. It doesn't give you much information at all. It's really bland looking. The fight and winner or whatever you want to call it, battle end and battle start graphics are they're limp. It reminds me of remember the presentation or at least the vision, not the visual, the fonts as well as the vocal presentation in Injustice One. It had that really bored sounding lady.
Yeah,
Yeah, That's what like Jump Force feels like. It's really ugly. Oh, don't put on a before you buy video. Those are the
I
worst.
didn't do that. I cut it off. But like I was saying, yeah, those are just things that they kind of just flatlined as soon as they got there.
Yeah, the game it could have spent another 6 months in development and probably came out better for it, but it doesn't seem like they wanted to give it the money somehow.
Yeah, I just saw that Jump Force got a price cut. So you can buy it at Best Buy for like 49 or $45 now. It's not no longer a full price game.
But yeah, so Jump Force, Boku no Hero, as well as
Blade
Blade.
Strangers.
They could have been cool, but they were all capped by just kind of developer silliness.
Yeah, I mean, and the last one I'm going to throw in here, in the topic of a dead game, air quotes, DOA 6 going free to play within, what, 3 weeks, 2 weeks of it being out?
But that was in their roadmap.
Yeah, but last time it went free to play, it took a long time for DOA 5 to go free to play. I think some people are going to take it as, oh, it's dying already. And yeah, the player base online has dropped,
A
but that's
lot.
only because it launched without an actual lobby system.
Yes, that hasn't helped.
So,
These are problems that we're talking about of the dead games prior to bringing up DOA 6 is when the devs push out a game that's clearly not
finished.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not finished. They release it not finished with a core feature not there.
Yeah, no lobbies. That's worse than no single player arcade mode that I
And
didn't
keep in
really.
mind, Fexel also does not have lobbies. That I feel like Fexel not having lobbies is also killing that game online.
Soul Calibur 6, in fact, to bring that back up, Soul Calibur 6 lobbies suck because you can only make them up to 8 players, and there's barely any options in there.
Yeah, but at least it has them.
At least it has them.
It has
Yeah,
them. You
like for
know.
instance, to bring up another streamer, Eris, right?
Yeah.
He's known for Soul Calibur and Tekken more than anything.
Yeah.
Recently, he's known for not playing those games,
Yeah.
and however, he doesn't play specifically because when he tries to stream, he tries to stream specifically against his subs
Yeah.
and not an elegant way to set up playing against somebody specifically in Soul Calibur 6's current lobby system. So he just doesn't play Soul Calibur 6. He's literally stopped playing the game.
Yeah. It sucks. Those are just little things that contribute to a game either having success in the online realm. I know it doesn't matter for offline, but it does contribute.
Yeah, big and small devs out there, you have to come out the gate with more, I don't know what you want to say, like features and quality of life um, features than you do content to survive.
Yeah,
The
you
content,
fill it out with like DLC characters or something, if you had to do it.
yeah, but you need all of the anything that makes it easier for people to play against each other and together and to even filter out other people. We've got DOA 6 and MK11 showing you whether or not your online opponent is on a Wi-Fi connection
Yeah,
or not.
blast the Wi-Fi warriors.
Yeah, man, yo, you guys got to get out of here, get a wire. Um, but yeah, those things are well important, and they should not be outside of the realm of including into your game at launch, not after launch.
No, at lunch.
Period.
Anyways, let's talk about this one a little quick before the one next on the list. Kill la Kill game. Uh, recent, you know, footage or at least your thoughts. My first initial thoughts from what I've seen about Kill la Kill, it's end up gonna probably end up playing really like Naruto-y,
Oh
maybe
yeah,
more
it's like
swordplay.
Naruto, Boku no Hero,
Yeah,
My Hero Academia, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There's I can't say too much about it. They have been drip feeding us information. The cool thing is they've got ArcSys on board to lend a hand in the graphics department, so it looks almost, at least the character models look
It looks
almost
beautiful.
exactly like they do in the show.
Yeah, Arxis is really just like killing it with all the graphics. Like anything they've been touching graphically, kills it.
Yeah, everything you guys are seeing, not everything, but a lot of what you guys are seeing is rendered in the game. Some of that, all this is sorry, from the show,
Yeah,
but you're about to see some stuff that doesn't happen in the show that might look like the show, but it's Arxis's amazing Xrd type stuff.
yeah. There's shaders.
Yeah, man,
You can see the intro. It's
oh,
just like great.
it's going to be a beautiful game to look at. I played a little bit of it when we were at Evo,
Mm-hmm.
and the game felt more basic than a Naruto game, which bothered me
You think
a
so?
lot.
More
Yeah,
basic?
yeah. I feel like it could be more than a Naruto game, but currently it feels like a streamlined, almost easier version.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, that's what I got initially. Is that yeah, it's gonna be simple. It's not gonna be necessarily a hard game, but I mean, as far as like being worse than that, I don't know. I can't see it being any worse than those games.
Uh, I'd say at best it might be on the level of. Well, that's another thing too, though, is they are drip feeding us characters. So I think they've just announced two more characters for a total of four characters,
Yeah.
and that's again that's not much at all.
I
And
can't see there being more than like 12 or 16 ish characters.
yeah, yeah, I'm not sure how much of the show you've watched.
I've watched it all.
Okay, yeah, so there's a lot of characters to pull, but that lot of characters is not going to be a Marvel amount of characters. It's more going to be a World Warriors
That's what I'm
amount of
saying, like
characters.
12 to 16, only because you have all the club leaders, right? You have the boxing club guy. You got, I can't remember all their names, but there's only so many people you can pull.
Yeah, yeah. There's not a lot. There's a lot of different playstyles because everybody's super unique. But the problem is in that kind of engine, you're like Naruto games. You're running into a lot of the same kind of combo situations and buttons doing similar things.
Yeah,
And the
it's
thing
gonna
that
be
you're
like
seeing right now,
X square triangle, X square, XXX, like your simple stuff like that.
there's even a lot of people going back to this arbor that has the reversal edge technique that a lot of people don't like, which isn't really a big deal at higher level play.
No, not at all.
This game also has a similar type of thing where you can initiate an attack that puts you into a cinematic in which you basically play, I think it's a four button rock paper scissors, And no one's going to care for that on a competitive level. I don't think that this is going
No,
to
not
be.
at all. This is definitely going to be a casual kind of masher game, but we just want to talk about it. It is kind of a fighting game, you know.
Yes,
Had to at
yes,
least make mention of it, and it looks amazing. And you know, if you
yeah.
like anime, definitely try to check it out. Hopefully, by the next time we come up with something else, like there'll be more info, you know.
Hmm.
But anyways, move on from that. We're wrapping it up a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
we're
what
pretty
we're
much
gonna
at the end
have to
here.
do some zero news.
Yeah. We're gonna be doing the Tilted podcast for who knows as far along into the future as we can, be reaching people, which is great. But on a deeper note, I think that there's a lot to be said about how many resources there are for games like the dead games that aren't being played anymore, or just older games. Because you guys might not know this, but we play games like Breaker's Revenge.
Oh yeah,
We play all kinds of last
everything
play.
almost.
Was that?
Everything almost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll at least touch every fighting game that's ever existed. And but outside of the discords, or even within the discords, there isn't a lot of quick information or even like easily digestible information for people to find to start those things. And I kind of want to start making a YouTube series, which will give more details later if I can get it going,
Yeah.
uh, about just kind of like the basics and some of the advanced techniques on starting to play some of these games that nobody really plays, or if they're obscure. um, I'm going to do work. I'm going to dig into it and then kind of make shorter ended videos that go over like what the things that you need to know to start playing the game, or give you enough information for you to decide whether or not you want to even try to give it your time. I've recently started playing games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, and Sailor Moon.
Yep.
I think it's Super. Um, and that's another Super Nintendo game. Those games are fantastic. They're so silly and jank, but there's a lot of strong fighting game elements there
Oh yeah.
that you never would have thought if you hadn't given it the time of day, especially being Super Nintendo games.
Yeah. You know, and
Yeah,
what you're gonna do is actually like really great because you know there's a lot. Yeah, you can't really find something simple just to watch in a quick amount of time to kind of get the hang of something, and then move on from there. So yeah, guys, like definitely once he gets that going, check out his series. And there's no
yeah.
name yet.
No, no, I don't. I haven't sorted it out yet, but I'll get that together. That's kind of the naming and all that isn't so much important to me as getting it started and finding a platform. It's probably going to be YouTube related, but I'll figure out all the details and we'll be able to tell you guys about that. I'll say it again at the end of this, but if you guys have any ideas or anything that you're interested in learning, or you might want to start picking up, let us know and we'll give you the information for that. And you can let us know, and I can look into seeing if that's possible.
Yeah, yeah, definitely check it out when you can. And then anything else to add to that as far as zero news?
No, not really. I'm waiting for Astaroth buffs. I'm waiting for Street Fighter Five to start doing something. I'm waiting for another port of MVC2, which will never happen, even though Fox is just about to be absorbed by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll be able to see some Marvel versus anything anytime soon, but who knows? In the meantime, it's really just that wait for Power Rangers and playing a lot of Tekken, playing a lot of Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is so good, and I haven't two yet, but I want to get into that too. I might stream it. We'll give you guys more information on where to find us outside of here at the end, though.
Yep.
What about you,
And
man?
so yeah, I guess we'll go to me. As far as news, I no longer live in Cali, so no Super Arcade. And as far as like plans for anything I wanted to do with Super Arcade, you know, just can't happen really. I'm like 500, 600,000 miles away, so.
Yeah, that's
Um,
not.
but as far as streaming, I think I'm gonna have to dive into nearly full time streaming for a little bit. I have the funds to kind of support it,
Yeah.
and YouTube I'm gonna have to start doing more reviews of different games. I got an awesome P review coming out like within like a couple days,
Hmm.
so definitely look for that. So I'll be streaming more retro. Um, what else? Just everything in general. MK for sure. VF. I'm always gonna be playing VF. I'm gonna try to come up with a dedicated day for like a VF lobby for each system. So like PS3, we're gonna have a weekly online thing, and Xbox 360 will have a weekly online thing, and hopefully those go good. I'm not gonna comment on it here because I just don't know the date, but just follow my stream at twitch.tv/icky with two Y's,
Yep.
and that's where you're gonna be able to find it like most times of the day. So that's really it as far as my news.
Cool. I might have missed it. Did you tell the listeners that you mess around with hardware?
Like arcade hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that I could fall that as under it falls under streaming retro. So when I stream retro, it's either gonna be like an old arcade system, like a CPS2 game,
Like
or
legit.
Neo Geo games, like NES games, Sega games. Like I have Dreamcast hardware, PS2 hardware. Like everything's all real hardware streams. Don't use emulation. Um, speed runs are always done in real hardware.
Oh yeah, you do speed runs.
Yeah,
That's right.
man. I'm gonna have to start speedrunning more, so that counts as full time streaming. So I don't know what game I'm gonna jump into first, other than Kickmaster. But
Little Kickmaster.
yeah, we'll,
Yeah.
we'll we'll see. I have to think of it.
Cool. 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 Uh, that's pretty much it for you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. That's pretty much it for me too. What else do we have left? Or we're
Other than
pretty
to
much,
wrap it up and plug the Discord, I would say our Tilted FGC Discord. When you watch this on YouTube, we'll be posting the link in the description for sure. But at the
Mhm.
moment, what I'm gonna do is actually find the link and post it in the chat. So anyone listening in the chat right now live is gonna be able to have a link to that. We'll try to leave the invitation to never expire. So that's one thing that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Come join us. Come hang out.
Yeah, talk memes. We got memes. We got fighting game lobbies.
Yeah. And between the two of us, we're pretty much up 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
So yeah, and we're on the same coast, Pacific time. So it's not there's always going to be someone around. We might not be checking in all the time, but the more people who are hanging out here, the more people can talk, and you can tell us things that you might want us to add, channels that you might think that need to be there, voice channels, and all the other stuff,
yep.
and we'll
Let us know.
make it happen.
Yeah, also, this is the first episode, basically, so give us feedback. If you're watching on YouTube, comment, tell us what sucked, what you didn't like, what you did like. It's only going to get better if you let us know.
Yes, and that brings me to one of the last points. You can send us an email at www. No, you can't send an email at www. You can send us an email at tiltedfgc@gmail.com. That's tiltedfgc@gmail.com. Tell us anything, really. If you have a question that you want us to answer about anything, we will try to answer it to the best of our ability. Keep in mind that depending on when you ask it, we'll be able to either A, put it into the next episode, or B, it might take us a second to research it if
Yeah,
it's something that's in depth. But we're here to help grow the fighting game community. We want more people to play all the games, even the games we don't like.
yeah.
And
The more playing, the better.
the more playing, the better. Absolutely. So you gotta let us know what you want to hear about outside of the stuff that we're interested in. Because if not, you're just gonna hear more about Flex, Tekken, what Arc System's up, how much Street Fighter Five is dropping the ball, and why DOA 6 is not giving us more boobs.
That's always the biggest question in life.
Yeah. So email us, tiltedfgc@gmail.com.
All right. Well, I think we should wrap it up there. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
Hit that subscribe. And yeah, anything you want to say before you leave?
No, man, just you guys stay cool and keep in touch. We'll be back very soon.
Yeah. Peace.